Well, in the opening round in Melbourne, Lando did have his measure, but only just. In qualifying trim, Piastri was merely a 10th off of Lando's times, and in the race, he was hanging onto his coattails and never let Lando run away from him. What ultimately screwed him over was the discovery that slick tires don't quite grip well enough on a wet racetrack, and are even lousier on wet grass. He ultimately finished the race down in 9th place, but there were still a lot of positives to take out of that event. In particular, he looked every bit of Lando's equal that he needed to be. What he would preferably need is a weekend where he could perform demonstrably better than Lando, to boost his spirits and morale, gain him some confidence, vanquish any demons that he might have. Well, I guess you were waiting for this. A weekend where Oscar Piastri could stamp his authority at McLaren and prove that championship contenders don't have to come with an assemblage of ifs and what-ifs. The sprint was fine, much better than anything Lando cooked up anyway, with Lando having fallen down at the last hurdle in sprint quali and burying him down a couple of rows. He did the same thing in proper qualifying, only this time, Oscar had taken pole position. In the race, he was in complete control, never looking to be under any duress from anybody, and easily took his first win of the season. But after the year that he had in 2024, two promising results were not going to be enough for most of us to believe that he had magically turned things around. If he was going to convince us all, he was going to have to keep this up. In Japan, Lando would finish ahead of him, but that did come with an asterisk. Firstly, Oscar was right on his pace from the start of qualifying, the only blemish being a mistake in Q3, which ruined his chance of out-qualifying Lando, and on a track like this, that is a bit of a killer. During the race, however, things really did come out to shine, as both of the McLarens hunted down Max Verstappen driving a Red Bull that had no business being in the lead. Oscar began to hound Lando in the latter stages. You really did get a sense that Piastri was the faster driver at the time. There was some debate on the pit wall as to whether or not they should have switched positions to allow for Oscar to rein in and pass Max Verstappen, since Lando wasn't quite doing that himself, but McLaren wouldn't bite and ultimately came home second and third in the race. Piastri's manager, Mark Webber, took issue with all of this. This dude knew all too well what it was like to be in a team that didn't treat him quite as an equal. Those days as Sebastian Vettel's teammate at Red Bull still have him waking up in a cold sweat. He helped Piastri with his contract negotiations with the McLaren team to ensure that his place and status in the team was secure and that he wouldn't hit the same pitfalls as Webber did. And that was what was bugging Webber, the knowledge that switching positions could have led to a win from the McLaren team and that McLaren's indecisiveness had cost them that, and also the wonderance of whether they would have done that if the shoe was on the other foot. But could Oscar have really won that race had McLaren opted to switch positions?